Hey, what's up guys? This is my red Komodo build for handheld use. Spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get this rigged as close as possible to the body, ready for like run and gun type style shooting with audio solutions as well. So anyways, I wanna go over my red Komodo build. This is actually the second time I'm filming this because the first time the top camera wasn't recording, but whenever it first came out, the Tilta cage looked the best in terms of like mounting options for me. So I have the Tilta cage on here. It does have a couple of issues that I'll talk about. Like on the Tilta cage, first of all, I don't think the rosette mount positions were actually an optimal place to put a lot of the mounting, a lot of side handles. Honestly, a side handle would seem kind of better like right here where this NATO rail is, but you know, I'll get into that. And also this part right here kind of obstructs the microphone import and also the headphone jack. So just a couple things to think about before you're buying a cage for your red Komodo. In the very front, I also have these sprockets, these sprigs that I use for cable management, even though it's kind of a mess, you know, it's hard to get past. First of all, with the Tilta cage, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the battery. A lot of people got the Komodo X because they hated the way that like the batteries mounts were on the original OG6K. I really don't mind it. The fact that the battery mounts sideways on here. There's other mounts, other battery mounts that you might want to look into that mount vertically, but then it kind of gets in your way if you're trying to touch screen. If I could even put this on. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and put my EF to RF adapter. I don't use RF lenses just because I have so many dang EF lenses. I shoot on a C70 and a Sony a7S III as well, so I like using a bunch of EF Sigma glass just because I can get that to work on all of them. So let's talk about handles first. Side handles and top handles, etc. I hate this top handle. This is the like most uncomfortable top handle I've ever used in my life. I think a lot of people had that sentiment as well. They made it like this, like that. You'd be able to, you know, do your touch screen, changing your settings and stuff, then go back to here. But it's just such an awkward place to put this. Like your hands just can't rest on it. And also this has also, I think this comes with this kit as well. This Tilta handle has got to be one of the most uncomfortable side handles I have ever used in my life. It was made to go like right here with that and the top handle. Maybe if you're doing like a really small build and like you just have like these two things on here, sure, but like this, it feels like my thumb is gonna fall off. It's like pinching in the wrong places. It's definitely not ergonomic. It hurts to use. I just don't use these, so I'm gonna put these away. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add on some 15 millimeter rods on the top and sides, as well as 15 millimeter rods on the bottom. These are small rig NATO mounts to 15 millimeter rod mounts. I like having rigs that are really small, compact. They feel like they're one unit. Things aren't flying everywhere. And I like the center of gravity to be as close to the center as possible. So that's why I love using 15 millimeter rods in order to do a majority of the mounting on here. For side handles, I actually like, on the right side, I like being able to change the angle. So I do want a rosette mount on the side. So this is just like a small rig wooden handle with a NATO rail to rosette adapter. I have this right here. I love this also because it gives me just a little bit more space from the body, so like that I have enough room for mounting on the side. This small rig wooden handle gives me a little bit more space on the side and is NATO railed. I've tried a bunch of other stuff and this is just kind of what felt more natural to me, felt more comfortable. I can hold both of these really confidently and really comfortably for like several hours without feeling like one hand can't hold it for very long. So that's important to me. And I also really like having on this side an additional hot shoe mount. On the right side, I'm going with a really small 15 millimeter rail. That this is like 4 inches or something like that, just because the battery can sometimes protrude out, and especially if I'm hop swapping to like a battery like this size. Yeah, I kind of don't care that it's really big like this. I'll do that after this thing dies, or you know, I'll get like another 95 watt Andy Cine V-mount battery. On the top, I don't like how this is a hot shoe right here. I want to have a really reliable top handle, so I use the Nitsy small handle right here. I have the big one and the small one, but the small one works best because it doesn't protrude over the screen too much. In order to mount that, you need to mount a NATO rail on top of this entire thing. Now this goes over top and locks. Whenever you buy this, it comes with this additional piece for a hot shoe mount. I like putting that on the very front. So I like mounting my small HD Indy 7 monitor on there. So this is the Vlogger monitor mount. I love this thing to death just because it has teeth inside it that makes sure that the monitor does not fall. I also love this, this cable. It's like a D-tap to whatever is on the back of this monitor. I'll try to link it in the description below. Screws into the Indy 7, and then I can mount this onto a D-tap right here on the side of the camera. So here's the Tilta base for this as well. I think this is necessary because I kind of do need the 15mm rods in order to mount a matte box onto it. And then I have some 12-inch, I believe, 15mm rods that go on the bottom. And what I love about Tilta bases is that they actually have this on the very bottom. And this connects to a Tilta dovetail. I didn't know what these things were for before, but what it is it allows you to, whenever you're balancing this on a tripod, it gives you some more leeway. So if you take your lens off, your weight changes, etc. This gives you a whole lot of space in order to move the camera back and forth, in order to balance it on your tripod head. And then I just have the typical Manfrotto mount on the very bottom. It also makes the camera a whole lot heavier, but you know what? I kind of like that extra weight. Basically, you just run and gun with this already how it is. Honestly, you don't even need the bottom, but I like using that with a Polar Pro matte box. I use the filter system on here in order to give me high quality NDs. I also love the fact that you can take this off if you really need to throw this onto like a gimbal or something like that. I actually really do love how you can just throw filters on like that and take off the top. It's sick. I need to be able to mount a manual focus ring grip this thing. This is like by Small Rig, I believe. Yeah, this mini one. I need to be able to mount it on top or bottom, and I don't want to have to choose one or the other, so I'm just going to put 15mm rails on the top. As you can see right here, I can just mount this guy like this, and then on the bottom rails if I need to do that. Now for audio, I really love running with the Sennheiser MKH416. I love this microphone to death, but you need preamps and you need phantom power in order to use it. I am not a fan of putting the Zoom F6 on it on the back with 32-bit float. I just think it's gigantic, it's heavy, you gotta put some power for it, and it's like 6 preamps. I only really need 2 that go straight into the red Komodo. What I do is I have this 15mm rod to hot shoe adapter. I leave this on the right side right over here with the Small Rig hot shoe adapter to shotgun mount. Ooh, love that. Love that. The microphone is just like the perfect distance away to where it's as close to the body as possible, but I can angle it out to where it is not going to be obstructed by this flag. I'm using the Beachtech DXA Red. This was made for like DSMC2s as a preamp with phantom power. And I was really concerned about getting this guy. He's like 500 bucks. Concerned about getting him because I was really scared about having preamps that are noisy. But after using these, I thought they were noisy at first, but no, actually you just have to turn down the preamp on this all the way, boost the preamp on here, and it sounds clean. I have that with this quick release adapter. They give you this in box whenever you buy it. And I just attached this 15mm rod adapter onto that. I'll leave it in the description if I find it. That makes it so easy to just mount that on the side. And the reason why I love this so much is because now I can literally hold this and this does not really get in the way. I move it back on the 15mm rods to where this is not obstructing my hand grip. I can hold it with my left hand for a pretty long time, even though this is a really heavy rig already. This doesn't get in the way of holding rig. This, these all are kind of independent of each other. I just want to talk about the cables that I use with these guys. I used to run with like the typical like 1 foot XLR cables on here, and they would like kind of fly everywhere. I had like the other version of this, it was flying everywhere, and it's just like too hard to manage and it gets in the way. I found these guys are right angle XLR cables. I think they're like for this. I bought them from like Alvin's Cables or something like that. This is an XLR to 3.5 millimeter stereo that locks in for my lavalier. So anyways, I freaking love these. It just looks so good, so clean, so flush. It's very low profile, so like that the camera doesn't get too crazy with cables flying everywhere. Oh my god, that's so satisfying, just being able to have this right here without anything protruding outwards like that. Same thing with this side. I use a Sennheiser G4, whatever it's called. These guys with the lavalier, you've seen them everywhere. I put this on the hot shoe on this handle, and it does not get in the way of me holding this. You see right here, I've got a really good hold on this. Now I have like the preamp, this right here. Nothing is in the way of each other. Cable just kind of wraps around and is able to actually lock in here. Now we got a whole lot of things here. We got a preamp, we got 2 microphones, lavalier, shotgun, power. The issue of the mic jack in the very front, I got these cables that are really thin. You really want to find the thinnest cables you can for both of these, the headphone jack and the microphone jack, straight into the main out of the DXA Red. This is basically it. In order to run with this all day, if I want to put this entire rig kind of like on my shoulders, I have these handles, I'll link them in the description, with this Condor Blue rosette to 3.5 millimeter rod mount. I just put this in between the mat box. Take that out. There we go. Now this entire rig can be held so comfortable. I can hold this with one hand right here. I can move my hand right here to change manual focus. I can hold on right here. Nothing is getting in the way of each other. This entire rig is actually, without the handles, is pretty balanced. I can hold it like this all day. I would take this off if I'm gonna be running and gunning with just these 2 handles, but it's pretty balanced. Nothing's leaning too far to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back. You can move your hand kind of in the front in order to get like a lower angled view. So you can run low with this guy. Super balanced, super easy to use, super comfortable, even though you have to buy so many dang things in order to get this thing to work. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is my rig of my Red Komodo 6K OG. If you guys have any questions, if you guys are looking for any of these things or are inspired for your own rigs, definitely check out the description below. I'm going to leave as much stuff there as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.